Welcome to the 2022 Nebraska Passport Stop Training. My name is Madison Johnson, and I am the Passport Program Coordinator for Nebraska Tourism. So our office is out of Lincoln. We're downtown. And so our office is open 8 to 5, Monday through Friday. And then right there is the main office number, and then my desk number and my cell number. And both of those numbers are also in my email signature. So if you have questions or any problems between 8 to 5, Monday through Friday, feel free to call me. I'll say this several times, but if you ever have any problems or anyone's ever given you a hard time, please tell me and tell them to contact me, because I would rather them ask me a bunch of questions and I know the answers to them than have you guys struggle through all that. So quick thing about who Nebraska Tourism is. So we are an office of 12 people here in the Nebraska State Office Building, and we have everyone who kind of runs the gamut of planning our conferences, all of our social and marketing efforts. We have people who do adventure travel, dark skies. We have group tours, agritourism, all sorts of things. And we also have 2 interns in our office right now. So there's lots of us hanging around, but we are a small office, so we do what we can. So over the last 2 weeks or so, you should have received your first box of shipments, which would have had this window decal, and then your stampers, and then potentially some ink, as well as a large counter sign for you to put on your front counter. And those are to be put out. You can put them out now. You can wait until the beginning of the program. It would be kind of nice to put them out now just to get people thinking about it and excited about it. And then you also should have or will be receiving very soon your booklets. So you're going to get about 100 to 200 booklets. They're in these boxes. They're super heavy. So I apologize, but it's like 90% of my job, I feel like, lugging those things around. And so you are more than welcome to give those out to whoever comes in and asks for them. You're going to have a handful of people who are just going to come in to get the booklet, especially on May 1st. So make sure you have them available. And if you do not have them by, let's say, next Wednesday, so a week from today, please let me know, and we will get another round of them sent out to you right away. We want to make sure you guys have them all. And depending on where you're at in the state, I'm hand delivering them. So if you're on Lincoln and Omaha, there's a lot higher chance that you do not have your booklets yet, just purely because they're sitting in the back of our van right now. So yes, so you can put the things out when you'd like. The window decal is sticky, so there's a little back piece that you peel off and you put on your windows. There's 2 of them, mostly because sometimes they can get kind of sun bleached out during the summer, so you can take the old one off and put a new one on. Or if you have multiple front doors, use all of them. I don't care, but if you need more throughout the season, I have some more as well, so feel free to ask. All right, so overview of the program. As so far, we have about 15,000 booklets that have already been ordered on our website. So for those of you who do not know, participants go onto our website and order booklets for us to mail out to them. And you all were chosen over about 300 applications that we had. I think it was like 325-ish. And you were all chosen for a variety of different reasons. The program kind of comes together in a weird, organic way. A lot of people ask kind of how it works, and it's honestly just kind of weird how it all works together. There's not a lot of rhyme or reason behind some of it, but all of you guys were chosen because I was very excited, and you fit into this year's program really well for whatever reason that may be. So the goal of the program is to really give everybody a lot of different experiences all across Nebraska. So if you are in Southeast Nebraska, if you are up in Chadron, if you're in Wayne, if you're in McCook, we want to make sure that people who are doing the program are going to be able to participate as much as possible, regardless of where they are. And then we also want to give them a lot of different things. So there's probably not going to be 3 museums in one town, because we want to make sure that the people that are coming to that town are going to be excited to go to each of those stops. And people aren't really, probably, maybe a handful of people would be, myself being one of those people, might not want to go to 3 museums in one day. I think that sounds great, but our participants might not feel that way. So we want to make sure we have a good variety of destinations, even within specific regions, to give people kind of a new and fresh thing each time. So overview of 2021, we had 1,322 participants make it to all 70 of our stops. So that is really awesome. We break that barrier about every year we have since the program began. And it goes up by about 150-ish people every year. So this year, expect that number to be closer to 1,500. So that's really exciting. We love that that number keeps growing. Every year I'm like, oh no, what if we don't make it? And it's never even been a question that we will. And so we have an app, which I'll get into in a second, but we had 195,000 stamps from our app alone. So that is crazy. And then the average person that did the passport last year went to 23 different locations. So just know that the people who are, oops, sorry about that. The people who do this program are very passionate about it and do not just do a few. They are very, very excited to go to as many places as they possibly can. A lot of people say it's very addicting. So if they go to 5 stops, they go to like 30, then they're like, oh, well, if we go to Omaha this week, we can get 50. Oh, if we go, so it's kind of an addicting thing. And then prize entries are the things that are filled out at the end of the season in order to get prizes. And then last year we printed 55,000 booklets. This year we printed 60,000 because we almost ran out last year. So just know there's a lot of people floating around. And then down there at the bottom are the economic impact numbers that we did from an economic impact study back in 2019. We are going to do another one this year, so those numbers should be coming out relatively soon. But just know that it's got a lot of benefit for the state and for the community that you are in. So these are some little marketing phrases I'll kind of just throw out real quick. The point of the program is to discover Nebraska's hidden gems. We like to use that term because a lot of people will walk into your place and say, I didn't know you existed, or I've never been here before. And that's really the shininess of the program. People love to do it every year. Our stops do change every year, as you know. So that is the big draw, is that people are always going to have a new experience. And there's lots of other passport kind of related things across the United States or across Nebraska, but we are the only one, as far as we know, that is statewide and offers a variety of different experiences. So there's like the wine passport, which a lot of people participate in both of them when they do our booklet, but it is fun because ours is really everything and it's good for all ages. It's very easy, it's fun, and it's cost friendly. So I will get into this later, but it is very important that you give out stamps to everybody who is doing the program, regardless of if they spend any money at your destination. That is something that is Nebraska law. It's like a, no purchase necessary kind of idea. But if you say you're a museum and someone comes in and maybe they have a kid sleeping in the car, so they don't want to go through the museum, or maybe they're like, oh shoot, we don't have time to do it right now, but we're coming back, next week or something. You have to give them their stamp, even if they don't purchase anything at your destination. But we obviously encourage everyone to purchase something. It is the main point of the program, is to positively impact your businesses, your destinations, and your communities. So just know that. This is a good breakdown of kind of the idea of who participates in the program. So this is based on last year. The biggest age group we have is the 35 to 44-year-olds. So think couples with grade school children, and then as well as retired folks. They also make up a large portion of passport participants as well. So it's going to be a lot of families with kids, and a lot of grandparents with their grandkids, and a lot of people who just, drive their RV around town. So it's a good variety, but we do have a whole number of people who participate. The oldest person that went to all 70 last year was 95 years old. And the youngest person was like 6 months old. So all ages. So I know a 6-month-old baby can't really appreciate the passport program, but their parents do, and they get prizes for it. So here's a little breakdown. So 74% of the people who did the passport last year said that they've never done the program before. So we have a lot of people who do it every single year. A lot of the really, really dedicated passport champions do it every year, but there's also a lot of people who just never done it or never, maybe they had a booklet last year, but they didn't really do it. So that kind of thing. And then they come from about 400 different Nebraska communities. And last year we had 31 states represented. So we're doing really well. So why do people participate? They like to explore Nebraska. They like learning about history. They want to support businesses. They want to spend time with friends and family, and they enjoy the competition. And I will say there's going to be some people that do it purely for getting stamps, but that is very much the minority of the people. So if you have someone come into your destination who is, say, they just want to get a stamp and they're not interested in looking around your store, for every one of those people, there's going to be about 10 who are going to spend like a while and probably spend a decent amount of money. So it can be frustrating sometimes throughout the season, especially. It's probably worse at the very beginning because there are people who want to get as many stamps as possible as soon as possible. I will never understand those people. I do not give out prizes for who did the passport first, who completed it. I don't care. But just know that there will be people who come in who just want to get a stamp. But then there will also be a lot of people who want to spend time at your destination. So some quick little stop benefits. Some people have reported up to 200% of increased traffic, about very much increase in sales, and then increase in awareness among their target markets and social media. So just know that it is very much encouraged that you tell people to follow you on Facebook or Instagram, or to sign up for your newsletters, anything like that that you guys do as a business. You're more than welcome to collect that information and encourage people to do it. So then there's more stop benefits here. These are just, I'll quickly go through these. They were helped market your destination to their family and friends. They returned to your destination. So that's another thing to consider is if a person comes in and maybe they just want to get a stamp, there's a really good chance that they're going to come back and maybe they'll bring a friend. So that's something that a lot of people say, like, oh my gosh, I had this women in here. They go to their around the state with their friends. They've been back in my coffee shop 3 times already this summer because they loved it so much. So you're going to get a lot of that too, which is fun. So just keep that in mind. And then as well as really benefiting the other tourism destinations in your community, that's important as well. We want to make sure that we are keeping people in towns or in areas as much as we can. We don't want people just driving through your town. We want to make sure they stop and get gas. Maybe they stay overnight in a hotel. Maybe they go to the museum next door, all sorts of things. And then receives publicity and increased number of social media followers, website views, etc. And then there's a handful of other things here, just local gas stations and retail stores and events said that the passport program impacted them. They built partnerships in local communities, all that good stuff. So some 2022 goals, we want to make sure that everybody, including all of you, have a 100% positive experience. I try to make this program as easy as possible for anyone who does it. I will never hoard stamps over participants. So say they come to your business and they maybe are so excited about what they're seeing, they forget to stamp their booklet or they forget to stamp their app. If they call me, I will just basically give them that stamp. I don't make sure they send in really any kind of proof. The people who cheat are very minimal and I usually can tell. So just know that it is always my policy to make it as easy and as painless for people to get the credit for the places that they visited. And we also really want to make sure that you guys are seeing a benefit from it. If this program became anything where it was just people going around and it was just, you know, a way for people to get stamps and leave, the program wouldn't exist, because that's not what's happened. You know, we just get an overwhelmingly positive result and feedback from pretty much everybody about how they have loved either being on the program or doing the program. And then obviously we want to increase participation from last year. That's always a goal. We want to make sure the program's growing. But it is big at this point, so if it's that's okay if it maintains itself as well. And then positive economic impact as well. So quick little overview. These are some of the stops for this, or the tours for this year. So the tours are like a fun way to categorize all of you. They don't really mean anything. People don't get bonuses for going to one tour over another. They're just a fun way to market the program. It's much more fun for us to say, hey, we have a coffee tour this year than, oh, we have a lot of coffee shops. You know, it's just kind of a fun way for us to promote it and for you guys to promote it as well. So say you're a part of the animal magnetism tour, which is that green one in the bottom. We chose your destination in that tour because you had great wildlife viewing opportunities, or you're somewhere that focuses on conservation for wildlife and things like that. So again, just another fun way to benefit the program in terms of marketing. And also, you will probably fit into more than one category. So just because you are in X tour doesn't mean you couldn't have also been put into that tour. They're just fun. Don't think too much about it. It's just a way to organize the booklet and let it be a little bit more exciting and give it a little bit more character. So what do you need to do as a stop? So the big thing is basically just greet the people who walk in, ask them about how they've enjoyed the program so far. You know, what's been your favorite stop so far? Where are you excited to go next? And all that good stuff. People love to be chatty. They will talk your ear off if you let them. Now, if that's not something that you can do, maybe on a busy Saturday, that's okay. But also, if maybe you have one worker in your place that just loves to talk people's ear off, give them that job, because passport participants will love it. The other important thing is it's one prize entry per person. So if you have a gentleman come in and say, oh, my wife couldn't come with me today, can you stamp her passport too? No, you're not allowed to do that. They both have to be present. I will say there are a few exceptions. Use your judgment. I've had someone say that their kid was sleeping in the car and someone didn't stamp their passport because they were like, well, I didn't want to wake up my toddler. That's different. You know, if you can kind of gauge people's rationale, I guess, and do that. So I will leave that up to you guys if you want to do those things. But the rule is only one prize entry per person. And people in the same household earn all their prizes. So if there is a family of 6 comes in, they should have 6 individual booklets. Just know that. And then also physical stamps are still the main way that people earn credit from the stops. So taking their passport booklet and walking up to your counter and getting a stamp is still the most popular way. I'll go over the app again here in a second, but the app is a tool. It is not the main purpose of the program. So again, only stamp booklets where people are present. This is in the rules section of the booklet. So there is, once you get your booklets, if you don't have them already, familiarize yourself with these rules that are in the very back pages, because it goes over all of that stuff. So if anyone ever tries to give you a hard time about it, point them to that section in the booklet and then tell them to call me, because I would be happy to explain that to them and explain the rationale behind it, rather than have you guys sit there and do it, because I know that can be kind of daunting and it's not your responsibility to patrol the program. And then again, Nebraska state law prohibits charging participants in order to receive a stamp. So where to stamp? So if you have your booklets already, or if you don't, find the page that your stop is on. So if you are Seasons Downtown in Hastings, you're going to stamp right here. You're going to stamp in this open section next to your stop, as well as this back page in the prize entry booklet, on the prize entry sheet. So you're going to just stamp right next to it. The prize entry sheet is what they turn into us. The booklet is their keepsake. So they're going to want you to stamp both so that way they can keep track of themselves, which ones they went to, and also turn it in to get prizes. So just make sure you're stamping both. Find where you're at in the booklet and in the prize entry sheet. Maybe write it down on a sticky note and stick it on your desk or something, so that way your other employees or maybe whoever else is going to be working with you knows where that information is too, so they're not flipping around. But I will also say participants will come in and be like, okay, here I am, and they'll hand you your information that way. So with the app, there's a frequently asked questions in the app and booklet, and it also works from their phone's location. So it does the nearby notifications, so they know that they're nearby a stop. And we do encourage everyone to download the app for those notifications so that we can send them things like, oh, this stop isn't open today, or hey, there's an event happening in this area, so just do that. And then participants get their own stamps, so you do not need to do anything in order to get the stamps on the app. So they will walk in and they will do it themselves. So you do not need to do anything. And then again, if they have questions or problems with the app, tell them to contact me. The new app update will be available on May 1st. So a lot of people are calling in right now wondering why their app's not updating. It will not update until May 1st. That's just the way that it is. And then they just need to search Nebraska Passport 2022 in the App Store in order to get that downloaded on either their iPhone or their Android phone. So with the app, they can get stamps 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. The alternative for the app, the reason we do it is that that way people need to be open 24 hours a day. So the biggest complaint that we've had in the program is that stops are not open enough. And I sit there and I go, well, yeah, it doesn't make sense that a mom and pop shop with 2 employees needs to be open 7 days a week, 24/7. That's not realistic for all of you. That's not realistic for anybody. So the app is the best way for us to continue to gain participation and alleviate some of those headaches that had been happening from people saying like, oh, this stop was closed, or it closed 10 minutes before we got to town, all that stuff. So, again, reminding you that if people aren't there to get their stamp, they'll probably come back if they drive through town. And if there's any problem with your digital stamp, it's off of your location that you submitted in the marketing survey. I did go through and verify all of those, but if it's wrong, just know that I can go in and fix it. So I can go and fix any information. So if your hours are wrong for whatever reason, I can go in and fix any digital information as well as the website and the app. So those will all be updated. If you submitted a trivia question, that's just a fun added thing. There's no reason that there's no prizes or anything based around it. It's just a fun way to get people more interested and give them an idea of what, some fun trivia of the location or of the community. So the other way that people can get stamps are selfies. So there's a handful of people that are not familiar or not comfortable with technology. So they will submit a selfie to our website, or they will print out a selfie and mail it in at the end of the year. It's also great because we love to use the selfies for promotion. So if there's an older couple that walks in, or there's an older couple that comes by your destination when you're closed, they can take a selfie and send that in as well for credit. So the other thing that I would encourage you all to do is to gather participant information, names, emails, phone numbers, anything that you want to do to encourage people to come back or to get coupons or what have you. It's good to build that relationship in order to get people back. You can use a guest book, you could use an iPad, you could tie it into a prize drawing. So if you say, oh, if you sign up for our newsletter, we'll do prizes. And then make sure you get their permission as well to be mailed or emailed. So you can, use it for communications during the holidays. If you do a big holiday section at your store, that's a good thing to be able to be like, hey, come back for us over Christmas. We do a great Christmas, display, or we have a lot of good Christmas options. And then you can also do a coupon. So I'll go over this too, but 15% off your purchase for a lot of the Passport participants will make a big deal to them. If you walk in and you go, hey, here's 15% off just for, participating in the program, they're going to be a lot more inclined to actually purchase something. So if you did not initially sign up to do a deal, that's okay. You can absolutely add that and just do it as you see fit. If you start doing a deal and you decide at some point that it doesn't make sense for you guys anymore to do that one, or maybe you want to increase your deal, you are welcome to change it at any time throughout the program. So visitor experience is obviously important. We want to start with tidbits about your destination, describe that deal and then get them excited about what you have to offer. I'm sure all of you are really great at doing that already. I don't need to sit here and tell you what to do, but just know that that's something that people are going to want to do. They love to talk about it and love to learn. So here's a few examples of things people have done in the past. They've given out little goodies in terms of, bookmarks or popcorn that's passport themed, or back in 2019, Stagecoach Gifts in Kearney did these little tree ornaments. People loved it. People loved the photo booth. They like free samples, just anything that they can do to, post about your business on their social media. It's great. So I went over this and I did a webinar for Nebraska Tourism I think it was last month, about connecting local communities. So I can send you guys that information as well, and it goes over it in a little bit more depth. But in the past, we've had things where, downtowns will get together and say, we want to give 15% off to every single passporter that comes through our downtown. So things like this wooden nickel was in Fort Calhoun last year, and they would go around and say, I'm with the passport, and then they could redeem that nickel for, however off. So it's really important to connect businesses, connect downtowns, and get as much people to stay in your area and spend as much money. Yeah. So remember, if they do not purchase something, it's always important to display customer service. We want them to come back, and we want everyone to have a good time. Passport Stops had said the benefits of the program, so increased traffic, sales, awareness, outweigh time spent stamping for non-passporters or non-purchasers. So keep that in mind as the program rolls on. And then here's a little overview of kind of the approximation of who will spend at what. So find where you fit into this categories and see maybe, okay, if I have a retail store, there's a decent chance that they're going to spend money, especially on smaller things. So things like providing water bottles or little tiny things that you can just say like, hey, you want to spend a few bucks? That's really important. And that can be a really good benefit for you too. So if you're a museum, charge them $1 for a water bottle. It's just a good way to increase profits as much as possible. And then here's a little outline of what to expect for participants over the season. So the rule of thumb is you're going to get about 2,000 to 4,000 additional visitors in your destination. May, over the last few years, has been quite a bit higher than what is shown on this graph. So not sure how it's going to work this year, but that's a little overview of the expect. It's going to fall off pretty sharply in August when school starts. And then it goes back up a little bit again at the end of the program with people excited or needing to get the rest of their, all right, so another thing that's important to do is to try to track the monthly numbers that come in. Mostly that's for us. If you don't have the ability to do that, or you think that that's not feasible for your business, just in terms of the amount of people you have or all of that good stuff, that's okay. A rough estimate will work fine. And so you can try to get the best format that works for you. If you want to just make a tally of the amount of people that are coming in or what have you, that is okay.
Have making purchase, taking this word separate. So
let's see
that too.
All right. And then the one big thing is our number one complaint that we've had is that participants get upset that businesses are not open the hours that they said that they would be. I understand that things happen, and I am very flexible when it comes to a lot of this. It can be really difficult to keep open very consistent hours, especially if you're a small business. So if you need to close for whatever reason, that is totally fine. Just please let me know. Or for whatever reason you need to change your hours. Like I said, I can change anything on the app and the website, but obviously the booklet is printed, so it's hard to change anything there. But just let me know. You can, maybe if you're closed for a while and you need to provide a stamp to a nearby business, that is something really good to do. If you're in a downtown area and you know you're going to be closed over a week because say you're going on vacation, you can always give the stamp to a business nearby in order to stamp the booklet for them. And that helps build a lot of people around the community as well to get, again, like I said, to get as many people to stay as possible. So yes, let me know if you ever plan on leaving or being closed for an extended period of time, and we'll figure out what we need to do in order to get people the stamps that they need. So here's another thing is a fun thing to do is to connect with those businesses. So a few years ago, we had Johnny Bird Brewing Company and Wayne and Aquapop and Wayne kind of connect, and they would sell each other's merchandise. So Johnny Bird had Aquapop popcorn available to sell. So that's a fun thing to do, some cross promotion. You can have brochures and coupons ready. Contact your CVB or chamber to kind of ask, you know, what should I do? See if they have any ideas or ways to promote maybe local events, anything like that. We also want you to be a good ambassador. So encourage passport participants to submit their photos in order for us to feature them. You can take pictures of them if they say that that's good. Encourage those who haven't participated before to participate. So say that they walk into your business and they see your board and they go, what the heck is this? Just sit there and tell them about it. Give them a booklet, tell them that it's a fun time, it's free, and just get people excited about it. The other thing is know the passport stops in your area. Even just in kind of your region, it's better for them to say, you know, like, oh, what's nearby? And you can be like, oh, I'm fairly, you know, this place is open or this place is great. Just familiarize yourself with the booklet. That's just the easiest way to say that. Promotion. So I do a lot of promotion on TV, radio, newspapers, all that kind of stuff. And you are more than welcome to do that thing as well. If you want to reach out to your local newspaper and say, hey, we're a passport stop. Are you interested in doing a story on us? Or I know things like Pure Nebraska here in Lincoln with 1011, they are all over the place. They go to lots of different businesses across the state. You can reach out to them. They love that kind of thing. And John Vanderford is always looking for new things to do. So just keep that in mind. If you want to do any promotion or if you need any help with that, please let me know. I also do passport presentations to different Rotary clubs and PEO groups, schools, community centers, that kind of stuff. So if maybe you think your community would benefit from a passport presentation, so learning about the program, basically what it entails, how you participate, I am more than welcome to do that. And we can do in person or over Zoom, however is best. And then also, there's also donations and prizes for the end of the season. So if you decide that you want to throw together a little gift basket to give to passport participants, I would love it. And you can just send it my way, and I'll send more information about that in the future as well. That's far away, but just something to think about. So these are the media outlets we are kind of currently working with. I'm working with the station out of Kearney as well, or out of North Platte as well. And then if I do invite you to come on TV with me for whatever reason, which I did a lot before COVID and have done a lot less of that now, but we'll just try to make it more interactive. Lincoln Children's Zoo always brings on animals. Coffee shops will bring coffee or merchandise examples. Community events, we provide, you know, pictures and things like that to make them more fun and interactive segments. So if that's something you're interested in being on with me, if I reach out to you, just feel free to think about ways that you could get creative and do those things as well. And you are more than welcome to, if you know NTV and Kearney and you want to hop on with them, you know, I don't necessarily have to be there. I would like to be there, but if that's something that we can't get organized, then that's fine too. So feel free to do as much media and promotion as you'd like. A lot of news stations and newspapers love to talk about the passport program. It's very popular. So don't feel shy to reach out if you don't hear anything. The other thing is we do a lot of promotion on our social media. So those are our Facebook and Instagram. It's all visitnebraska.com. And we also have passport stories on our website. So people submit little tidbits about what their adventures were like. And so they'll kind of say like, this is our favorite stop. And then we shared those on our website as well. And they're also fun for us to use on those interviews and things that I was discussing. And so I did send out that marketing kit a few weeks ago about things that you can include when you're doing promotion on your own social media. So I'll send that out again today as a meeting wrap up, as well as a pamphlet or a flyer to give to employees so that if you don't want them to have to sit here, or maybe you know that they won't sit here and watch this whole thing, we can give them this flyer, and it's just a brief overview of what they need to do and the rules and things that they need to know. So here's some examples of posts that have been done over the past few years. People can get really creative with them, make them really pretty, or just showcase the promotion from news sources that they've had. These are the hashtags at the very bottom that you're welcome to use, Nebraska Passport, honestly any, or at Visit Nebraska. If you at Visit Nebraska for anything, there's a pretty good chance we'll share it. So just know that that's a good way for, we'll probably just be like, oh yeah, we'll go share that quick and it'll be on in the next few days. Here's some more examples of posts that have happened. Pictures, that is me right there from last year. So, you know, look into what other people are doing. Maybe if you need more options, let me know. Just get creative and don't be afraid to promote yourself and promote the program. People love to see it. It's great. So the Visit Nebraska website, I know there's been a lot of questions about the website listings themselves. So I'll go through this a little bit. And then if you have additional questions, you can always email our intern, Lily. She's the main person that works with the website listings. I have a pretty good idea of how to do it, but she is the main person who focuses on it. Lily is leaving us for the summer. She's traveling and studying abroad. So we're going to get a new intern, hopefully in May. So depending on when you email me or them, just know that it's going to maybe change around a little bit. But creating a website listing, if you have not done so already, is the best way for Nebraska tourism to promote your destination. We link to those listings all the time in our media and our social posts and things. So it's in our web itineraries and things we post on our website. So we really encourage you to do that. If you have questions about how to create a listing, please contact Lily or contact me and I can help you. This is kind of what it'll look like when you create a listing. So there's the things on the left-hand side that are the hours, the rates, the visitnebraska.com listing. Then if you want to be featured on our travel guide, you put the information in there as well. You can say which amenities you have. So if you're lodging, you can say we have lodging and we have, you know, dinner or whatever. So this is what it looks like. And if you do not know what I'm talking about at all, so say you've never heard of this, please let me know and I'd be happy to walk you through it. This is the extranet. It's a little complicated and not the most user-friendly thing in the world. So I understand if you're confused. So the to-dos for the remainder is remember to don't start stamping anything until May 1st. That's very important. People are going to try to come in and either get a booklet or get their booklet stamped here anytime now. So you cannot start stamping until May 1st. And then the last day of the program is September 30th. So remember, no stamping for booklets for people who are not present. Determine how you want to collect your participant information. Check your email. I will be contacting you a lot, so please make sure you are at least have a way to contact me or a way of responding to me about, you know, monthly visitors or really anything that I'll reach out to you for. So for example, I'll reach out pretty soon to talk about holiday closings. So if you're closed on 4th of July, Labor Day, Memorial Day, I will gather that information and then I'll send out a notification and on our website to all the participants. So that way they're not trying to stop at your business when you're not open. I will be emailing you the handout for employees if you're interested in giving that to them. And then think about whether or not you want to do any fun photo ops or prize drawings or samples or anything to kind of improve or get more visitor experience. Again, not necessary, but always encouraged and always helpful. It really creates some special memories for people. So do you want them to leave with anything? Do you want them to have a coupon in order for them to come back? Do you want them to have local brochures or anything to give them an idea of things they can do when they're in the community? And then meet with local businesses around you to say that they might see an uptick in traffic as well. That is actually going to happen. So sometimes I've had people say, oh my gosh, you know, the store next door to me didn't know that we were on the passport, and they are just like excited because there's so many people. So just, you know, give people in your community ideas so that they have a little bit of a warning and a little bit of a heads up of what's going on. It can be kind of a lot at first. It can be a little overwhelming. So just know that it's always a positive thing. Our past stops have just been so overwhelmed and grateful to be on the program. So I'm excited that all of you are on this program. I think we're going to have a really great year. It'll be interesting to see how just with, you know, the last 2 years, how they've gone. People have really cared for this program as it is a way to kind of do local tourism and support local things. So, you know, let me know what questions you have. We have time now to talk. Again, that's my contact information there, my email and my direct phone. So if you have questions, please contact my direct phone. It'll be the easiest way for me to get back to you. And then I am happy to answer any questions that people have now. I know in the previous chat there were questions, and I know I will not be able to get to those. So what questions do you have? You can put them in the chat, or you can unmute yourself and ask whatever you want. I will be sending the recordings of both of these, as well as the slides and other information, in an email here shortly. So if you missed part of this, or you know someone who wasn't able to get back on for the second part of it, all that will be out. So just know that it's going to be easy. And again, I apologize that we had the little technical difficulties. Yes, so I will send out the marketing kit that I sent out a few weeks ago again in this email to have the logos and some images and things that you guys are more than welcome to use on social media, or for any sort of printouts or handouts that you have. If you want to create like a coupon flyer or something and you want to put our logo on it, you're more than welcome to do that. And I would, in fact, encourage it. So any other questions? Yes, Jessica, that's a good question. So it says one of the businesses had a large vinyl banner saying Nebraska Passport Stop. That is something they just did on their own. That was in Blair, and it was our specialty tea shop in downtown Blair. So if you would, you could probably contact her and ask where she got it, but I think she just did it from a local print shop. That's something that they just did because they were, you know, they were like, oh, that would be a fun thing to do. We've also had people create little street signs or street flags for, like, you know, like at car washes. We'll say like car wash or what have you. I know Double Dips Ice Cream in North Platte did that a few years ago. So there's a handful of places across the state that can make things like that for you. But yes, any sort of, you know, large promotional thing that you want to do is good. So I talked about that more in my webinar that I did a few months ago. So I'll include that link on the email I send as a wrap up here too. I'll jot that down and make sure I do that.
So, Madison, the stamps go in the booklet next to your entry and on the prize entry sheet in the back of the booklet, right?
Yes, absolutely. Okay. So in the prize entry sheet is just going to be, it's just this guy right here. And make sure they get this back. That's something I didn't say. It's very important that both of these things are kept together at all times. And a lot of people will write their name and information on this anyway. So if they leave it behind, we have an idea of whose it is. And again, any issues with people not getting stamps or things not working out the way that they should, or people losing booklets, just send them all to me. I'll fix it.
Thank you. All right.
Welcome. Any other questions?
I have one, Madison.
Yeah, go for it.
This is Cora with Sabuni. You mentioned the trivia. What do people do with the trivia questions? Where do they, like, how does that work with the trivia?
Yeah, they're just they're on the app. So when they get the stamp on the passport app, so when they get at your destination and they get their stamp, it will just kind of pop up as a thing, and they can dismiss it if they're not interested in doing the trivia. But they're fun. I don't think I even have a way of tracking to see who got them right. I made a lot of the fake answers because it's like a best of 4. I think, they have to pick the right answer. And it's just a talking point basically for you guys. So you can sit there and go, oh, did you get our trivia answer or all that? And then again, if you decide that you want to change your trivia question, that's fine too. Just let me know and I can swap it all out for you. But it's just a fun thing. What if I forgot how I worded my trivia question? That's fine. So there's 2 things you can do. I can either just you can email me and I can send it to you, or once the app goes live, you can get the app yourself and it'll show up when you get the stamp. But I can definitely email it to you too. That's no problem. But that is very true. That happens. You're like, I don't have no idea what I did for my trivia question. And I did have to change a few of them. Too, because some of them weren't as friendly to the 3 wrong answers and the 1 correct answer. So just know that as well. And again, special deal, I can send you what you did for your special deal in the marketing survey, but it can be anything. We don't have what your deal is printed down anywhere. It's not public information. So you can change it if you feel like you have something you want to do besides that. Like maybe you're like, oh, my deal isn't as beneficial as I thought it would be, or maybe I think this might work better. You're more than welcome to change it up and do what you ever need to do to make it best for you guys.
Can you hear me? This is Billy.
Say that one more time.
Billy, this is Billy from Bridgeport. I have a question because we're on the western border of the state, so undoubtedly we will have a lot of the initial guests coming in from the west to the state. Do the visitor centers along the interstate and the other visitor centers, do they have passport information there?
Some of them do, yes. So we send out, so a lot of your cities will have them. A lot of cities, bigger towns nearby. So I know Alliance, Scottsbluff, Chadron, Kimball, Sydney, North Platte all have booklets in their visitor centers or in their chambers. The ones on the interstate, the rest areas, some of them will have them. So with the booklets, we have 60,000, but we don't just like to give them out like our travel guides. Our travel guides, we kind of are, we put in stands all over the place. The booklets are a little bit more specific just because we have less of them. And we don't just want to have, stores all across the state that aren't being used. So if you want your local, visitor center or whatever to have booklets, just let me know and I can send them some. I just, we just don't give them to everybody just in case people see it. Like,
or perhaps the visitor centers could direct them to the this year's passport stuff too. Correct.
Can you say that one more time? You're kind of cutting out.
Or the visitor centers could direct them to this year's passport stops. That would help as well.
Yes, absolutely. That would be, that's the goal, is to get people to grab their booklets and then go to the centers nearby or go to the stops nearby for sure.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Any other questions? No? Cool. Well, I appreciate everybody taking the time to do this. I will send out the recordings here, if not today, tomorrow, just to know that. And feel free to contact me with anything that you need. The program again starts May 1st, so no stamping before that day. But if you have any problems, any things that come up, just let me know. Hopefully this was a helpful presentation and worth your time this morning. And if you have any feedback, I'd be happy to hear it.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Yeah, you too. Have a good one, everybody.
Thanks.